Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go for a different kind of video today. I'm going to go through some of the British Army's slang and terms that people use and explain what they mean. So earlier today I made a note on my phone basically saying, well, with all the ones that I could think of, I probably haven't got all of them because the military's vocabulary is so blurred. Everyone's got a different word for something else. So I'm just going through the list of things that I know. If there's any that I missed, put them down below and their explanation. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon, pop it down below and you get a shout out on my next video. And if you want another one of these, let me know and I'll go through some more different terms. Alright, first of all, I have got mong. Mong is another term that a civilian would use for maybe an idiot or a moron. A recce. Recce can mean two things. Recce can be a recce mech or do reconnaissance, which basically means check something out. 5s and 20s. So 5s and 20s are when you check your nearby area and your further away area, so your peripherals. So if you're going into a dangerous location, you carry out your 5s and 20s to make sure the area is safe. Buddy buddy, you'll hear quite a lot, especially when you're in training, basic training. Buddy buddy system is everything, so you watch my back, I watch yours. If somebody else is in shit state, you tell them, you sort them out, they check you, make sure you're not in shit state. Your oppo. Oppo is your friend or work colleague, often used as where's your arvo, means the afternoon. Flap or flapping is term used for panic. Foxtrot Oscar, otherwise known as fuck off, so I'm going to foxtrot Oscar. Another term for like get out of somewhere is pop smoke. So if you're going to pop smoke, you're done, you're getting out of there. Cut away. So when someone says you're in your own time now, cut away when you're finished, or anything along them lines, cut away means get yourself away. Egyptian PT. So many people would call it pitching a tent. So when someone on a Wednesday afternoon, typically a sports afternoon, people would say, I'm going to go do some Egyptian PT, which means pitching a tent. Alright, tactical check wipe is where you've had a wet fart and you want to check your arse that you haven't shit yourself. Tactical piss is where you take one knee, so you get down on one leg, you have a piss whilst on patrol, and you would maybe say, I need a tactical piss. Mucker, friend. Naffy, I'm off to the naffy, I'm off to the shops, same sort of thing. Scoff, food time. Are you going for scoff? You're going to the scoff house. Scoff house is a term used for the restaurant or getting some scoff at the scoff house. Pit. Pit is a term used for your bed. A john bag is a sealable bag that is also, I guess, a portable toilet that you take a shit in when you're on exercise or on operations in places where you don't have facilities to relieve yourself. Get your head down. Simple as it means, get your head down and go to sleep. One that's always baffled me, which is speed of 1,000 gazelles, which basically means hurry the fuck up, do it now. And something that people don't ever understand until maybe later on is that if you're at the speed of 1,000 gazelles, you can only go as fast as the slowest gazelle. So altogether, go and do it. Stand by, go. Something you'll hear a lot on PT is you'll be prepped in a position, say for like press ups, you'll be told stand by, go. So it's where you get ready to perform an exercise. A snurgle, which is basically avoiding. Send over, say again. Roger, yes. Clip. Clip's a word used when you're fatigued or you're tired or you're in pain. You say, oh, I'm in clip. Some people say in turbo, so I'm in turbo clip, or I'm feeling turboed, something like that. AWOL means absent without leave, which is basically means you're missing or you've gone home when you shouldn't be. Stag is a term used for when you're on guard or like you're protecting a certain point or on watch. Fill your boots, help yourself. A common term that I used to get told a lot was bullshit baffles brains. So you'd have some bigwig important officer coming to visit your regiment, your unit, and you would polish everything nice. You would paint the trees brown and the leaves green. You would staple the fucking leaves back on the tree to make sure everything looks spick and span. So bullshit baffles the brains. Knock off means you're going home, end of the day. Eyes on means you can see something. Or one that I had a fucking lot because my section commander used to love saying it was say seen when seen. So if they say seen when seen, that means you say seen, which means that you've seen something, which means you can see it. Basher, otherwise known as your jungle hotel, is basically a piece of sheeting that's waterproof that you would sleep under in exercise or in operations. Razman. A Razman is a term that I only ever heard used by the Royal Horse Artillery, personally. I have heard a couple of other guys use it, but Razman is the Regimental Sergeant Major, who obviously is the top soldier of the regiment or battalion or so on. So the RSM is the Razman, who is the boss of the company sergeant majors and every soldier in your unit. A NIG, which stands for New in Garrison. Some people used to say new in Germany when I was there, but basically means you're fresh. You're like a jarhead. They call them something. I can't remember what they call them. But a NIG is someone who's new to a regiment. Also the term CROW, which is Combat Recruit of War, which means you've just come from basic training. You're straight to your first unit, so you are a CROW. I think you're a CROW until you've been in the unit for at least a year, and there's load more, another fresh intake of guys. A WALT is somebody who claims to be in the army or within the military service but has never served. Civvy is a term used by soldiers to describe civilians. A shell scrape is a hole in the ground that you dug yourself to put your poncho or basher over to sleep in for the night. A lizard is a term used for a promiscuous woman. Bootneck is a term used to describe a Royal Marine by the Army. A screamer is a member of the parachute regiment, so because they're so high they scream when they're coming down, so they're screamers. And equally, the parachute regiment call regular army personnel hats because they don't wear a maroon beret. A pongo, which I'm recently found out even after leaving the army, is a term that the Royal Air Force calls soldiers. When something's alley, that means it's cool or it's nice. So if you say that, oh, that's alley, that's dead nice. Or alley as fuck, you might hear quite a lot. Arab, army regular arrogant bastard. I'd never heard of that before until a TA guy told me, after I called him a stab, which is a stupid TA bastard. Idle means you're lazy. When something is bone, that means it's stupid. So if you say like a bone question, for example, so I could say to you, is the sky blue? That's a pretty bone question, everyone knows the answer to that. So if someone calls you a bone idle bastard, it means you're stupid and you're lazy. When something's bucksheet, it means it's free and it's got no home, so stick it in your pocket, take it home. Basically, you might get like a bucksheet day off or a bucksheet afternoon or something to bucksheet duty, which basically means it's chilled out, you're not really doing anything, so you've got an afternoon doing nothing, which is then bucksheet. Crow cannon, often used to describe the L86A2, which is also known as the LSW light support weapon. Crows often get to a regiment and go, oh, give me the LSW because it's bigger. It's the same fucking gun with a longer barrel. They soon learn to hate it because it weighs more and it's more of a cunt to clean. DOS bag is a term used for a sleeping bag. A full screw is a term used for by the army to describe a corporal. Lance jack is a term used to describe a lance corporal. Gash is a term used to, I guess, if something's bad, it can be used as like, oh, that's gash. Or if something is rubbish, gash is also rubbish, so pick up that gash. You might also get told, pick up that gash and put it in a gash bag. Gat is also a rifle or a weapon. Gopping is one of my favourite words because it sounds good and it often describes people that I don't like. So if someone's gopping, it means they're pretty minging. Your rifle could also be gopping because it needs a clean. Gen or gen up, so gen means like swear. So if you say gen up, it's real. Or if someone comes up to you and says, oh, we've got a run in the morning that's really long, you could be like gen up, and they would say gen. And the final one is if someone is being jack or jack as fuck. If someone is described as jack or jack as fuck, basically means that they are fucking over everybody else. So another way you could use it is if someone doesn't make you a cup of tea but makes themselves one, they're jack as fuck because they didn't make you one. But that's it for 50 military terms and slang words that the British Army use. If you want to see a second one of these, or if I missed any, put it in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe and check out some of my new videos because they're absolutely sick, going exploring, finding crazy things. So I hope you enjoyed and we'll see you all later.